Hey, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to do a quick video on the Mercedes Benz Metris. It is a newer commercial van, also available in a passenger vehicle from Mercedes. They brought them out in 2016 in the US. And it's my work van. And I just wanted to do a review on it just in case people are interested in buying them for commercial use. The Postal Service is now using them as a new mail carrier vehicle since they are right-hand drive, and people have been asking me a lot lately when they see me at gas stations and things like that how I like it. So I put together a list of 10 reasons why you do not want to buy a Mercedes Metris van. My van is a 2016, has 265,000 miles on it currently, and of the 5 years that we have owned it, it has been in the shop for almost a year total of repairs. Trying to find shops in the area has been a big difficulty for someone to work on it. First of all, the thing that we noticed were brakes on these vans. We were running Chevy Astra vans before, Chevy Express vans, and the Ford Transit Connect when they first came out in 2010. We upgraded to the Mercedes Metris van because they had more cargo space for us, and they promised to be a good vehicle, but unfortunately that has not been the case. I run primarily a lot of highway driving. My coworkers do a lot of in-town driving, and it doesn't really matter who's driving the vehicle, city, highway, or anything like that. About 50,000 miles is about all the use you're going to get out of a set of brakes on these vans. It seems that the rear brakes actually go out first. They are a Brembo brake, front and rear. I think they are 4-piston calipers in the front and 2-piston in the rear. Like I said, 50,000 miles roughly is before all the life you get. They still about half pad, but they grind and make horrible noises, so it's just easier to replace the pads. We've replaced the rotors as well. And the other dumb thing is, in order to replace the pads, you're also supposed to replace a sensor that the van comes with to monitor pad life. We don't understand why it's there. It doesn't function properly, and we've even replaced the sensors, and it'll say check brake pad wear, and you can't get the light or the warning to go away without replacing the sensor. Second issue we've noticed, mainly on my van, is fuel leaks. Mercedes actually issued a recall for the fuel lines having problems. My van ruptured a high fuel line at 7,000 miles and again at 8,000 miles, and has been in for the recall as well. And every morning I walk into the shop and it reeks of gas. Found out these vans have like a regeneration on the fuel tank to bleed off excess fuel pressure, or build up fuel or pressure in the tank from overnight just sitting inside. And for some reason, the bleed off line is actually seeping gas out all the time. We've replaced the Zert on the fuel fittings, and that has not taken care of the problem yet either. We've actually tried to contact Mercedes dealerships, and they have no idea what to do with it. Another issue is steering issues. We've noticed with Michigan, where we're located, a lot of road construction, and the roads, we gotta merge into a different lane, or they cross the center median on the highway and you hit the rumble strips. And if you run on the rumble strips for more than about 10 seconds, it actually shuts off the power steering to the van and says to service the power steering, which is a horrible, horrible thing because these vans are very hard to turn without power steering. It's all electronic. You actually have to shut the van off and wait about 15 minutes for the system to reset itself until you get power steering back. So unfortunately, if you got a long road trip or something, you're fighting to steer this thing until you get to where you're going and shut it off, because a lot of times we don't have 15 minutes or so to wait for the system to reset itself. And even disconnecting the battery, which is located underneath the passenger seat, does not take care of the problem. Another issue we've been running into lately is parts availability. Not all auto parts stores carry parts. Our nearest auto value store that we have has actually been carrying the parts for us for the vans within reason. We can get, brake pads, oil and filters, just normal stuff. When it comes to like a water pump failing or an alternator, the alternator is $506 our cost. It's about $700 list price on these vans, and they're a dealer only item. I think water pumps are over $380 as well, and they're also a real pain in the butt to change. To do the alternator, the correct procedure is to remove the front end of the van, like the core sport radiator and everything, to get to it. But we found out that if we take it to a shop that has a hoist, you're able to access the alternator from the bottom of the van and actually remove it that way. Please ignore the cat. Another thing, timing chains. These vans are the M274 engine from Mercedes, which is used in a C-Class. And we've had I think 4 of the vans actually jump time already. One van jump timing at 32,000 miles, and again at 60,000 miles after having the timing chain replaced. My van jumped timing at 136,000 miles, and we had another van jump timing at, I think, about 140,000, and another van jumped timing just before 100,000 miles as well. Contacted Mercedes, and they're like, oh, it shouldn't do that. There's been no recall or tech service bulletins or anything for failures. They have a really chintzy nylon/plastic timing chain guides that actually wear out over time, and that's what leads to the timing chain failures. Some of the dealerships have quoted us an astronomical amount to replace those. It's about $200 for the parts, but they want $5,600 labor just to do a timing chain. And they say it's because the amount of time that's involved to do it, and they say it's actually faster to replace the engine, but the engines are over $12,000, and when you're paying $24,000 for a van brand new, it doesn't make any sense to put a $12,000 engine in the van. Another issue we've noticed with these vans is tire wear. We're used to driving the Chevy Express vans, so you get load-rated tires. We also get load-rated tires for these vans as well. And for some reason, turning, especially my coworker who works in the city, a lot of times he will go through a set of tires every year. The tires, for some reason, when you turn, the wheel will go from straight like this and will actually bend and will ride on the edge of the sidewall while you're turning, and does a lot of damage to the sides of the tires. And also, these vans, their traction control issues are horrible. We live in Michigan, there's snow, there's ice. I've been stuck multiple times in parking lots on ice, on flat ground. The vans don't go anywhere. You turn the traction control system off, it'll act up and give you half the power it should. We even run snow tires on these in the middle of winter, or for the winter time, just to make sure that we have good traction. And it's horrible. We'll have the traction control systems on, going down the highway, and the van will kick out sideways, even on dry pavement. It's happened a couple times during the summer, and it's been pretty scary. So definitely one thing you need to look forward to if you do buy one of these vans is the traction control systems are horrible, especially in the snow. You're going to want snow tires. If your state allows studded snow tires, that might be a possibility, but Michigan does not. So definitely something to know about. Repair shops is another big deal on these vans. Chevy Express van, any mechanic can work on them. Same thing with the Astros that we used to run, along with the Ford Transit Connect. The Mercedes is a whole nother animal. You contact specialty German vehicle shops or European vehicle shops, and they won't touch them. We've had multiple shops in the area say, we will not touch these vans. They say, call the dealership. So you call Mercedes, they say, we won't touch the vehicle, it's a Sprinter. Call Sprinter, we won't touch it, it's a Mercedes. It's kind of odd. It's a van body, but it's the M274 Mercedes C-Class engine, so to be honest, any Mercedes dealer should be able to work on it. We have luckily found a shop in town that will work on them for us, and their labor rate is very, very affordable as compared to the dealership, obviously. And the other problem is there's really no literature on these vans. A lot of the vans actually have an issue with voltage draw while they're idling. You can watch the headlights dim and brighten and pulsate. And there's no literature. Everything you plug into the system, you have to have a Mercedes Metris program to do any kind of thing. And we found a lot of the dealerships, there's only actually 2 dealerships, one in Kalamazoo, Michigan and one in Flint, Michigan, that sell the Metris van that will actually work on them, but they've only got a couple techs that can actually work on them, and they're usually booked out for months. And unfortunately for us, we cannot wait months to get our vans back. Like I said, my van, out of the 5 years we've had it, has been in the shop for repairs for almost a year total. And even at that, I've got 265,000 miles on it. So I try to do the majority of the maintenance myself, such as brakes, tires, fluid changes, things like that, just because it's a lot easier. Transmissions, some shops can touch them. Transmission shops will not touch the transmission for like a flush or a filter, but luckily we found another shop in our area that will do that for us. They recommend 65 to 70,000 miles for that. Fuel mileage was a big reason my boss went to these vans. The Vito van, which I guess was the predecessor to the Metris van that is over in Europe, those are diesels. These ones are obviously gas, and they claim 27 to 30 miles to the gallon at first, but now on further inspection online, checking things out, they've actually lowered the fuel mileage claimed on these to 19 city and 23 highway. The best I've ever gotten all around with it, cruise control on in economy mode, because you can actually select between economy, manual mode, so you can use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel, or cargo mode, is about 21 miles to the gallon. The other big thing is they use premium gas, and we went away from the express vans because of their fuel consumption, 15 to 17 miles per gallon, but they run unleaded. And at this point, it would have been cheaper just to keep the express vans for the extra fuel cost, since the premium fuel in most places by us is about 75 to 80 cents a gallon more expensive. So definitely another thing, if you're looking for something that is a gas miser and uses less fuel that can still haul stuff, definitely a first generation Ford Transit Connect van would be your choice, or even a Chevy City Express, which is also an NV200 Nissan. Those ones are pretty good fuel mileage vehicles, and if you need something that's large that can tow things, definitely just stick with a Chevy Express van full size, or I'm not too familiar with the new Ford Transit, the full size vans, but we have really good luck with the Express vans. We had multiple vans of those go 400,000 miles easily. Like I said, just fuel consumption issues, 15 miles to the gallon. So if you can live at 15 miles to the gallon in an Express van, tow what you need, definitely worth something to go with. Another thing on these Metris vans that is the real big issue that we have noticed are the transmissions. A lot of these are VIN locked, and transmission shops in the area will not work on them. We had one van with 190,000 miles actually have the shift solenoid on the side of the transmission fail. Needless to say, in order to order one of those, you have to produce documents showing that you are the owner of the van, such as a title, registration, and insurance. And even then, the dealership has to jump through a lot of hoops to order those modules, just to make sure that you can get that part. We've actually got, like I said, that one van, about 198,000 miles on it. The shift module went bad. It locked itself in park, and we had to have a tow company come out and actually put little slides under the rear wheels and slide the van onto their flatbed and take it to a shop that was fortunately enough able to get the paperwork started, since the dealership in our area was unwilling to order it for us to get that fixed. These vans, like I said, transmissions, you should change the fluid every 65 to 70,000 miles. But at the same time, even doing that, they can have issues with the 1-2 shift, or issues with it not staying in 7th gear, which is actually the overdrive. So it's a 7-speed transmission that Mercedes put in these vans for more of a fuel mileage aspect thing. So I hope my video is kind of helpful for you guys. Like I said, 10 things that are definitely a problem are, the brakes, they wear like crazy. fuel lines, fuel leaks, recalls, things like that. Steering issues, especially if you're in a city with lots of construction, you hit the rumble strips, you're going to lose power steering and have to wait 15 minutes for the thing to reset itself. Part availability, if you guys don't only have this one vehicle or two vehicles and you depend on them all the time, you can't really wait for these things to be down, so definitely steer clear of that. Timing chains, expensive repair when they do go. It's not if, it's when it's going to go. Tire wear, tires are not getting cheaper. You got to run the load range tires on these vans just to make sure that the tread life lasts and everything like that. Also, snow tires in the winter with the traction control system, that is horrible. Definitely not worth it. Repair shops, if you're gonna buy one, make sure you talk to repair shops in your area. It's one thing my boss wishes he would have done, is to double check, that somebody in the area could work on these. Fortunately enough, after trial and error, we found two places that can do, one shop can do one thing or a couple things, and the other one can do the more involved things with the engine. Like I said, also, there's really no literature on these things for repair shops to have anything, since the dealership will not share anything with them. Fuel mileage, big thing. Premium fuel, you can't run unleaded in them, or mid-grade, they spark knock and they run worse, they get worse fuel mileage. So if you're trying to buy one for fuel mileage, just stick with a Transit Connect, Chevy City Express, Nissan NV200, or something else, even like a Caravan. They'll get better fuel mileage as well, and you can run just regular unleaded fuel. Also, like I said, transmissions, the headache we had to deal with to get the shift module, and it's still not even fixed yet. Our shop is waiting on the part to come in. They got all the paperwork turned in. They said it could be a month or two before the part comes in. So, biggest thing is, I do not recommend the Mercedes Benz Metris van at all. Honestly, I feel sorry for the post office. I heard they bought like 30,000 of these vans, and a lot of them are already breaking in our area. I see a lot of these things already requiring brakes to be done, and they've got under 20,000 miles on them just because of the stopping and starting all the time. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment on the video. See if I can answer the questions for you the best I can. Like I said, we've got these at work. We actually have 7 of them. Only one is a passenger van that we just use for shuttling customers back and forth. And the other ones are all cargo vans, and not very impressed with them, and we will not be buying any more. Gonna go back to the Chevy Express van when it comes time to replace these vehicles. And hope everything was helpful for you guys. And once again, got any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Like and subscribe if you want to. And have a great day. Thank you.